Dare2aspire conference. We want to respect everybody's time, so people will be strolling in, but we wanted to start. I am your host, Ms. Tasi Fadike. So welcome everybody. We are really excited to kick off with Elayna Fernandez, the Positive Mom. So if you're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the Positive Mom, you can follow her. Today, again, we're tweeting with the hashtag Dare2aspire. And so I just want to tell you about the Positive Mom. So she came to this country, and basically, you'll hear about her story, but I interviewed her on MGM Radio. She came to this country, you know, I'm not going to tell the whole detail, right? Okay. Yes, I'll summarize. Basically, she didn't have a penny to her name, built this huge blog. She's one of the #1 Latina bloggers in the United States today. She's been at the Steve Harvey Conference. She's been on numerous radio shows, talk shows, Blogalicious. She's been there. She's done it. She's a key social media influencer. If you follow her on Facebook, you see she has thousands of fans. Instagram, Twitter, and she's here all the way from Texas. Anybody from Texas in the house? Hey, what's up? and let me turn it over to her. So please welcome Elayna Fernandez, the Positive Mom.
See, I have to now more than 5 years. It is an honor for me to be here with you ladies and men. Yay! Everyone, give yourself a round of applause for being here, because showing up is the most important part of success. Sometimes that's all it takes, actually. So thank you so much for investing in yourselves, for believing that it's possible, because if you didn't have a vision, you wouldn't be here today. And one of the things that I like to say is when God gives you a vision, He also gives you the provision. So that's in the works for all of you, even if you sometimes can't see it. We're working with the projector, but today's presentation is about profiting more and working less while positioning yourself as an expert. And before I get into really how to do that, I want to tell you my story, if that's okay. Everybody okay with that? Okay. And he's going to be working while I do that. This is very not Latina friendly, because I want to, walk around and talk with my hands. But imagine that it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You're a foreign mom. You just moved to a new state 2 weeks ago. You wake up with a weird feeling in your stomach. Your toddlers are sleeping in your bed, and the room is about 100 square feet, and efficiency with a tiny bathroom. There's a dresser, a bed, and a counter with a microwave. You're excited because you have moved there to build the life of your dreams, to buy a home with your husband, to raise your daughters, be a stay-at-home mom, and maybe after they go to school, start a business or go back to the workplace. You wake up with that feeling in the stomach, and that was me. I woke up nervous. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew something was off, as if God was telling me, get ready for what's coming. I saw that my husband wasn't there, and I panicked. I don't know, I went outside, I went back inside, and the room was really small. It wasn't like it was a 3-bedroom house or anything, but I kind of went around several times. Where is he? When I came back in, I see 2 car seats, and I see a letter. A letter that says, by the time you're reading this, I'll be long gone, and I'm not coming back. Go back to your country. You and the girls are going to do just fine. This is too much responsibility. I want a different lifestyle. Those words resonated with me, and I just fell to the ground. My brand is the Positive Mom, but it started out as being a negative mom. Because we all suffer those moments of negativity, of fear, uncertainty, darkness. And there I was. I can't, I have a dress, so I can't lay on the ground and show you, but you can just picture. I was at the bottom, complete rock bottom, crying, holding my stomach as if my life was going to be over, feeling worthless because he left me, feeling hopeless because he left me in a place where I didn't know anybody, I didn't have any support, I didn't have money, I didn't have a bank account, I didn't have credit, I didn't have a car or knew how to drive one. And in that moment of darkness, of uncertainty, of pain, and we've all been there, raise your hand if you've had one of those moments in which I couldn't see the way out. God reminded me of something. He reminded me of a vision that I had when I was 7 years old. I was 7 years old and I lived in the Dominican Republic, and I was raised in a community where we had to fetch our water. We had no electricity at night. We worked since we could. And we didn't have toys, so we looked for them in the trash. And we lived by a dumpster, so that was very convenient. So at 7 years old, I went to the dumpster with my brother, and we found a magazine. It was soggy, and there were flies, and it was, you can imagine a dumpster. So there I was in the middle of the dumpster, and I found this treasure. It was a highlights magazine. Anybody familiar with that? Okay, well for me, it was something amazing. I saw kids that were smiling. They were spending time with their parents. They had jeans. They owned books, and they had time to read them. They actually played. Instead of fetching water, they drank it in fancy glasses. They were happy. They were successful. Their parents were there. And so when I saw that magazine, my brother and I looked at each other, and we knew that we needed to learn this language. Because that is the difference between those kids. They were the same age. They looked about the same. They had parents. So I thought to myself, I need to learn this language. So I decided to create a puppet theater because there was no electricity and everybody was bored at night. And I saved money. So at 11 years old, I enrolled myself in English classes. So I remember that, and I hope you can understand my English. We have a singer in my culture that she passed away, but she used to say, my English is not very good looking. So I hope my English is good looking today. So at 7 years old, I knew that I needed to learn English. And at 28 years old, I knew that I knew English. So I found something that I had got something going for me. Even though I was feeling like I was worthless, I said, well, at least I know English. And then I remember the highlights. I remember another dumpster. Because here I was laying on the ground in my own personal dumpster. And I said, what's the treasure here? Well, that vision of those kids, the highlight kids, I never really experienced that growing up. Because I continued to work my way through to getting strong. But as a kid, I really didn't live that life. So God told me, you know what? Your kids can. And I saw that vision of my kids living the highlights kids' life. And I tell you that God may give you a vision and you may think that you didn't get it, but it's coming. It's coming in a different way. And so he told me it is possible. And I looked at my kids. I looked up. How many times do we look up and we look around and we see what we already have? Well, there I was saying, I have nothing. And I look at my kids and I say, I have everything. This is not the end. This is a new beginning. And so that's what it takes to position yourself as an expert. It takes to have vision. a vision bigger than yourself. And sometimes we need to have that vision for somebody else because we can't really have it about ourselves. I couldn't see myself as a successful, happy, excited, and even balanced mom, but I could see my kids living this life. And that gave me the fuel that I needed. Another thing that I did in that moment, that God showed me, I don't know why, I mean, in the middle on the ground, crying, and I remember the movie that I saw called Life is Beautiful. And in this movie, there's a man, experiencing the Holocaust in a concentration camp, and he makes it seem like a game to his kids. So I thought about, I don't know what to do, but I want to be like that. I want to be experiencing pain and going through the major hardships in my life and adversity, but I want to be a positive mom. I want to be an empowered mom. I want to be the person that inspires my kids to be more. So write this down. Instead of having a to-do list, create a to-be list. What is it that you want to be? Who is it that you want to become? Because it isn't what you do that matters. It is how you do it, because you are the person who has the faith to see it through. So that's what took me there. I couldn't figure out what to do. I've never been a single mom before. It was a foreign country. I had been in this situation, but I knew that I could be something else. And I started creating this life from this vision. So how many of you have a vision? Raise your hand. It is possible for you. It is not just for me. I started creating my vision, and right now I can tell you that everything that I wanted and more, I've achieved it. Not because I'm special, but because we are all special and we can all do it. So the first thing is have a vision and believe that that vision is possible for you. I want to do something fun. There's a quote that I really love, and it's by a lady named Marianne Williamson. I don't know if you know who she is. She has this book called A Return to Love that I really love. And she has a quote that is written in plural first person, but I made it into actually the first person so that we can all recite it today. And it was supposed to be on the screen, but just repeat it after me. So if you could please stand. Thank you. And I want you to listen to the words and soak them in and believe them, okay? So, my deepest fear is not that I am inadequate. My deepest fear is that I am powerful. Beyond measure. It is my light. And not my darkness. That most frightens me. I ask myself, who am I to be brilliant? Gorgeous. Talented. Fabulous. Actually, who am I not to be? I am a child of God. My playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around me. I am meant to shine as children do. I was born to make manifest the glory of God. It is within me. others.
Not just in others.
It is in all of us.
It is in all of us.
And as I let my own light shine,
And as I let my own light shine,
I unconsciously give others permission to do the same. Now let's say, I am powerful.
I am powerful.
Thank you. Oh, fabulous. Okay. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. So how does everybody feel after that? That is the truth about you. And I wanted to go through that because positioning yourself as an expert means nothing if you don't believe that you are one, that you have those powers within you, that you can actually do it. That is the foundation of everything that I'm going to teach you. Because you can do tactics, you can get on social media, you can create a blog, you can write a book, but if you don't believe it, then others won't be inspired. And isn't that why we do what we do? It is to serve others. So I wanted to show you that picture because those are my girls. They're now 11 and 12, and they're best-selling authors, speakers, and bloggers. And over there, let me see if this works. Okay. Oh, no. Okay, so over there is my little one. So I'm remarried, and I have an amazing husband and a baby girl who's 21 months old. Yes. So my life has been multiplied, and you know, trusting God that He would show me the path, He has blessed me with even more than I imagined. So we've all heard about marketing, and there are 5 steps that I identified to be marketing. So usually we are all marketing ourselves, and this is what I call the marketing cycle. And it starts with contacting people. So you contact people through any medium, and then you have a conversation. If you don't make a connection, then it gets stopped. So we should strive to make a connection when we are marketing our services or creating a relationship with others. Then, of course, you strive to create a community of those people that you are in contact with. But the main point that I want to make is that you don't convert if you don't converse. So if you don't have a conversation with people, there's no way that you're going to achieve the results that you're looking for. Passing your business card, you're at a conference with powerful women, amazing contacts, you all are experts in your field, but passing a business card or sending an email saying this is what I do is not how we're going to play the game. We're going to have real conversations. So while I'm going through the steps of positioning yourself as an expert, remember that it is through conversation, it is through communication that actually marketing starts. And I don't really do a lot of marketing. I just build relationships, I tell people what I'm about, I shine my light, and then I inspire others to do the same. So we believe that everything you have, everything you own, has prepared you for this moment and for the moments that are to come. So that's the quote. So the system that I have, and I'm going to go through it real fast, because really it's all about the mindset that we went through. And so systems save you time, energy, and sanity. They also save you money because you don't make a lot of mistakes. And so basically through this system, you're going to be able to save that. The first thing that you need to position yourself as an expert is to know your purpose. To know your God-given purpose, to know exactly why you were put on this planet for. You need to get clear. And I'm saying you need because it is a requirement to be successful. Be clear about the impact that you want to make. I was talking to Ushe. Did I say it right? Yes, okay. And she was telling me that she wants to make an impact in her community. So she already knows the people that she wants to impact. How? How do you want to impact them? So write that down so that you can go through this and really get deep. What is the income that you want to make? Sometimes we say, oh, I want to be a millionaire. I want to make millions. I want to make 6 figures. That's not enough. Get crystal clear about the type of income and what are you going to do with this income and how much are you going to have left over to help, and is it going to cover the lifestyle that you want to live? Then what is the influence? For me, I wanted to be home with my kids, and that's why I started the business. I started my business 10 years ago after I got a job as a receptionist making $8 an hour. I worked 40 plus hours, but at night, after I put my toddlers to sleep, I worked 20 minutes on my business. And that's all it took. It took 6 months and then a year to quit the job. But I saw my job as an investment, my employer as my investor, because that funded the next step. So if you feel that you're not at the place where you want to be right now, just see that as an investment that's going to take you, farther. That's the stepping stone. That's not where you're meant to be. So that is the greatness. So that's the purpose, to define what the impact and the income and the influence that you want to have. Then you want to establish a platform. And that's a very fancy word for really knowing how to position yourself in the marketplace. So who are the people that you want to touch? And then those people, you want to know that they need credibility. I inspire moms because I am a mom. So I want to make that connection that I was talking about. And I can have conversations with moms, like I said, because I am one. So you don't need to have a PhD or a certification. You were born with whatever you need to make the vision and the purpose manifest in your life. So yes, tools and education and trainings are great, but you don't need anything else. You're just doing that to enhance your gift that God already gave you when you were born. So look at your birthday. That was the day you had a purpose. And you had everything that it takes to make that purpose happen. Then there's the vulnerability. Sometimes we want to hide and we don't want to tell our story because we think that is a source of shame. Well, the theme of this conference is strength. And I believe that strength comes from struggle. Struggle turns into strength. And so if you're struggling, that's a good sign. It means that you're getting ready. You're preparing for amazing things. And you would have told me that when I was lying on the ground, and maybe I wouldn't have believed it. So it'll take a while if you don't believe it right now. But I am a testimony. And that's why I do what I do, because I know that your pain is where you find your purpose. So be vulnerable and share that story. That's how you connect with those people. And then visibility, of course, if you're hiding, if you tell the story and you write it in your journal, you're not going to inspire anybody. So get that light out. Start talking about your struggles. We are not perfect, and that is the way that it's meant to be. So that's the formula. Credibility, vulnerability, and visibility equals profitability. So to get to profit, you need to tell people why you do what you do. You don't have to have a PhD, just tell them that is your passion and why. Then you tell them your story. And it doesn't have to be yours. I have a client whose story is her brother's who died of cancer. So it was his pain that turned into her purpose. So what is the story that moves you? Why do you do what you do? That is the main thing to become an expert. Then you can profit. And I think, profitability is more like prosperity, because it's not just money. You get enriched in every area of your life. This is something that I wanted to tell you because if you're surrounded by people that drain you, even if you achieve the purpose or the success that you were looking for, it's not going to feel like success. So surround yourself with beautiful, powerful people that lift you, but also that allow you to lift them. Because something that I've learned along the way is that I love to help others. And sometimes people don't let you help them. And it's frustrating. The process is really how you're going to get there. And for me, it was, I knew the results that I wanted to get. So it starts with looking forward. Start with the end in mind. Then you see the roadmap. So if you say, I want to go to Disney World, then you can pick up, go to Google and Google Maps or MapQuest and find out how to get there. Ask people that have been there. So you come up with more ideas. But if you just say, oh, I'm going to get in the car and drive and probably I'll end up somewhere fun, then maybe you won't end up somewhere fun. And if you're anything like me, you're going to get really lost because I still don't know left and right and northwest. It's impossible. I'm working on it. So the roadmap is really determined by the destination. That's why I call it the GPS formula, because the GPS won't work until you tell them where to go. And I say we tell them because it's a boy. I changed it to the voice of a boy. They call him Ken. Okay. So then your ROI, and that means the return on investment. How are you going to know that you're achieving things? And usually we have goals by December 31st. I don't like to work like that because I trust God's timing. So I like to kind of establish mile markers. Like when I make this amount, I know that I'm on my way. When I, start dating, I know that I'm closer to marrying the man of my dreams. When I, do this, then I know I'm closer. So I like to celebrate rather than create pressure around me. Because really, I am unattached to the results. I want to enjoy the journey. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Mom, are we there yet? Have you heard that before? It makes it stressful. So don't focus so much on the destination, even though you need to know clearly what it is. Enjoy the journey. Look at the views around you. The next one is publishing. And basically, one easy way that I identified to create a book, and all of these slides are going to be available to you. Just give me your business card, by the way, so you don't have to write, or you could take pictures. But basically, publishing is an easy way to position yourself as an expert. I think it's the fastest way, and I highly recommend it. And it is not intimidating. It is easy. I wrote my first book in 4 days. I blocked 4 days. Thank you. I blocked 4 days in which I only ate and went pee. Yeah, that's it. Like I didn't do anything else but write. And I just poured myself, my heart, and everything that I knew. Because to a second grader, a first grader, to a first grader, a second grader is an expert. So what you know is going to help somebody. And don't tell me that you're not already giving advice. Oh, girl, you got to get them this. Oh, girl, do this way. Oh, that's how you do that. Well, you didn't know that? Yes, it is. So you're already telling people how to do things, what to do, where to go. Write it all down. Write it all down. And, I say prayers before I write. So it helps me be inspired. And so I have 5 steps here. So if you actually start blogging, because I'm a blogger, so I have to talk about my blog. You start blogging, you can kind of scan what you wrote, and then you examine what is more popular. Even on social media, if you're already posting on Facebook, look at the things that you say that get more likes. And start writing about that. Start writing more about that, because if you wrote it, it's because you're already passionate about it. And just expand. And there's Google, right? So you can look for resources for people to interview. And basically, it's easy. You already have content. Don't think that you need to go to school for that. You already have a lot of knowledge and expertise. And then the editor is your BFF, because you don't have to have an English major. My English is not very good looking, and I am a best-selling author. So it's not my first language, and every book that I've published has been in English. My blog is in English. So if I can do it, I came from another country, and I started learning English at a dumpster. Then you can do this. Raise your hand if you think you can do this. I want to see hands up. Okay. Awesome. Public speaking. You're already speakers because you speak. So basically, the things that you need to develop as speech are three main parts. Number one, you want to gather the statistics around it. So my daughters are passionate about speaking about self-esteem and anti-bullying. My daughter, I homeschool them all three, I guess, because the little one is learning like a sponge. But I homeschool my girls because my daughter was bullied at school. And we went through that journey, and she came out victorious and confident, and she wants to help other kids to be bully-proof, they call it. So the first thing that they looked for were things like how many kids get bullied at school, how many people are having this problem. So that's what I mean by statistics, is find out what's going on in the community, in the world, around the problem that you want to solve. And tell people about that and start raising awareness. Then you're going to create the story and tell your story. We talked about vulnerability, so if it's your story, even better. Because, you know, there are many single moms out there. I was ashamed and embarrassed and feeling that there was something wrong with me, but the truth is there wasn't. My circumstances do not define where I'm going or who I am. My identity was established when I came to this planet. I am a child of God. We all said that earlier. So tell your story. It matters, I assure you. I tell my story all the time, and I don't get tired of telling it because I know that God is getting the glory. Solutions. So what are the solutions that you can offer? What are the things that you can tell people about? Don't think that what you have to say won't help people. Somebody that is starting out wants to know how you got to where you're at. No matter where you're at in the journey. It doesn't matter if you haven't arrived where you're going. So those are the things that you want to do. Join a Toastmasters group. Put that on your to-do list. So I'm talking a lot about the to-be's, but this is a to-do. Join a Toastmasters group and start practicing. Contact every Rotary Club. They always need speakers. And they don't care whether you're experienced or not. They just want to know a perspective. They just want to learn from the community. Lions Club. There's something called meetup.com. Go to meetup.com and don't go to the meetup. Actually, talk to the organizer and ask them, I want to talk to your group about X. It doesn't matter what it is. So look for something. If you do hair, go to the meetup about hair. If you do blogging, go to a meetup about blogging. If you do whatever it is. Because somebody wants to know about what you do. Then you want to, of course, on your blog, hint, you want to create a page that's all about your speaking. And you're going to decide that you're going to have one speaking topic, and then eventually you're going to work it to 3 speaking topics. So go to my website to see how I organized it, because really you just have to kind of use that template and exchange it. My website is thepositivemom.com. And there's a tab called speaking or public speaking. I don't know. My own website. But when you click there, you can see exactly how I structured that's how I have my clients do it. So just kind of replace what you know and use your own words. Then you also want to do online video. And now there's something called Periscope that if you're not on it, are you periscoping me? Woo! Okay, but you should have told me, like, I want hearts. And I can ask for a heart. Okay, so Periscope, if you're not on Periscope, get on it today. And if you can get on with your Twitter account, it's awesome. If not, then you can do it with your mobile phone. So it's an app on Android and iOS. Yes?
I think number 5, there's
get one done on, is that Fiverr?
Fiverr.com, Fiverr, the number 5 and 2 R's.com. So basically on Fiverr, you have things for $5 that you can get. And not everything I recommend to get on Fiverr, but go and look at the examples and at the things that they have on there, and you can get a lot of things done, graphics and templates and all kinds of things. I mean, it's endless. So go in and browse and peruse there. And you can design a speaker one sheet that you can promote yourself with. So we're almost done. Press is really getting attention in the media. So go to Haro.com, which is Haro, and actually it's helpareporter.com. And on Haro, they send out queries of people that are looking for experts to be on TV, on magazines, on blogs, on all kinds of media, digital and traditional. And I've been published in Latina Magazine, Fox News, ABC, you name it. And it has been through that. It's free. You don't need to do anything but scan through the things. And oh, they're looking for a woman in her 20s that has had trouble with marriage. And you can be on TV to tell your story. So it's really easy and it's free. You also want to create a media page telling the media what you could talk about, and follow them online. Follow your news station. Follow everybody online on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Get social with these people. And if you're not on LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn is huge. And media professionals are all over it. And I have a blog post on thepositivemom.com that talks about how to position yourself for the media on LinkedIn as well. And you can use press releases or do your own segments on your blog or video. Okay? Then the last one, but not least, is partnerships, because it takes a village to raise a child, to start a business, to do pretty much anything under the sun. I was zipping my dress this morning, and I was like, oh, I wish there was a girlfriend here or my daughter so that she could help me, because I could do it, but everything is, you struggle more when you don't have the help of somebody that loves you and supports you. And of course, I wouldn't just have anybody zip my dress, right? So we need to be mindful in visual, but we need to be mindful of the people that we allow in our personal space. But we also need to be open and have those friends and those supportive people. And I wouldn't be here, and I'm sure you wouldn't either if you didn't have those people around you. So no competing, no criticizing, and no comparing. That's the rule. There's no competition. We're all business women, but we all have different qualities. We are all unique. We are not competing with another. And I like a quote that says that when one candle lights another, it still shines. It doesn't really, nothing happens. They're both shining, and they all make the place brighter, don't they? So let's make the world brighter. Let's light each other up. Let's get each other on fire. Okay, so I want to leave you with a word of advice. And it is that insanity, well, Albert Einstein said this, that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So let's be sane, and let's do something different. So you don't have to do it all, and I'll make these slides available to you, but you don't have to do it all. You just have to do something different. So choose what it is. And if you can, choose 3 things and do something different so that you can get a different result, so that you can move forward in your life. And another thing, because I am a recovering perfectionist. Yes. Recovering. So you don't have to be great to be started, but you have to get started to be great. My mentor, Les Brown, told me that. And I believed them, and here I am. So I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity. And my motto is be positive and you will be powerful. Thank you.
it up because I'm in my flats. My feet were killing for last night, so excuse me. But no, thank you so much. And this is on behalf of Sam's Club, is one of our sponsors, and so they give gifts for our speakers. So this is on behalf of Sam's Club, and so thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, before I bring the next speaker up, can everybody just stand